नमस्कार, जय हिंद. A very good morning to all of you. कैसा रहा आपका कल डे 1 था, कैसा रहा? हिमाचल में आके अच्छा लग रहा है? हवा अच्छी है, लेस पोल्यूशन, वेदर भी अच्छा है. ग्रेट. सो आज पहली बार जब मुझे मौका मिला कि स्पेशल ओलंपिक्स भारत के जो युवा लीडर्स हैं, स्पोर्ट्स लीडर्स हैं, एथलीट लीडर्स हैं, उन सब से बात करने का मुझे मौका मिल रहा है. इससे पहले ट्रस्ट मी, मैं अपनी स्पीच लिख के भी नहीं लाया कभी. ये पहली बार आई हैव वॉक्ड ऑन टू द स्टेज विद पेपर्स इन माई हैंड, क्योंकि टुडे आई वांट टू बी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड, आई वांट टू बी प्रिसाइज, I want to put forward the thoughts very clearly. So it's an honor to be here at the National Youth Leadership Summit of the Special Olympics Bharat. But more than that, it's a responsibility. Because this summit is not about applause or appearances, but it's about work, it's about development, and it's about empowerment. You have come together from across the country as youth leaders, athlete leaders, mentors, and state representatives to review progress, to question what is working and what isn't, and to decide what leadership and inclusion will look like in the years to come. This is one of the very few spaces where athlete voices and youth leadership are not an afterthought. They are central. That matters to me because the cinema that we aspire works no differently. I know how powerful that choice is and what it takes to walk on this path. Whatever or whoever we place at the center of the frame shapes what audiences learn to value. When films choose real role models to lead the story, they don't just entertain, they expand the understanding. They challenge assumptions about ability, leadership, and who deserves to be seen. In that sense, what you are doing here and what we try to do on screen are actually very closely connected. As someone who works in the spectrum of cinema, when you center the right voices, when you center the right causes, you don't just tell better stories, you change how people see the world. You introduce perspective. This year's theme, Educate, Engage, and Empower, speaks to something larger than this summit. These are not abstract ideas. They are responsibilities. And they are responsibilities I strongly connect with through my work in cinema. Today, I want to draw attention to the conviction and the commitment on the portrayal of authenticity and ability using the potential power of this medium, which is cinema, to create stories of inspiration. If one figure of inspiration can inspire just one more person, it can form a chain, in fact, a chain of impact. Film is not just a medium to entertain, but also to inspire, to inform, and to bring light to specific thoughts. It introduces people to realities that may not exist within their own societal spheres. We often think of entertainment as something separate from education or leadership. But stories are one of the first places where people learn how to see the world. Cinema educates not through instruction, but through exposure. It shapes what feels normal, what feels possible, and who feels worthy of attention. A recent example is the film Rab Di Awaaz, which has seen more than 275 screenings across more than 12 states in India and has been recognized by the United Nations and UNESCO in India. The focus of the film is not just on entertainment, but also very strongly and very focus based on the authentic portrayal of persons with disabilities, featuring for the very first time in recent years a lead actor who is 100% visually impaired or blind. More than 10 deaf signers worked to make the film accessible to the hearing impaired. It has gone to become India's first multi-inclusive and multi-accessible Hindi feature film as well as the longest running film in terms of non-commercial screenings in the very recent years. With added accessibility features such as audio description and sign language, we enabled the film to be accessible not only to the visually impaired or the hearing impaired, but also to a wider spectrum of neurodiverse audiences, including with intellectual disabilities, making their understanding and interpretation of scenes that had no dialogues or were mildly complex. We tried it, and we have experienced measurable success with it. The journey of making films and exhibiting them across varied institutions has enabled us to understand the vital work being done across India. We produced a campaign on accessible transportation for people who cannot drive or are dependent on wheelchairs, featuring real athletes who have represented India in boccia, archery, table tennis, kayaking, and many other sports. We have also had the chance to produce stories with people who have exceptional talent in the arts, since creativity has no boundaries and come from people with all abilities. We have made short films and documentaries about them, taking their stories to film festivals to evoke inspiration and provide a platform for their abilities through the medium. It has been my fortune to be a film director and to base my beliefs on abilities and merits rather than on disabilities and demerits. I sincerely wish that the prefixes dis and d be permanently removed so that we can focus solely on the merits and the ability. Empowerment comes when stories offer role models who are real, flawed, yet capable. When young people, athletes, or persons with intellectual disabilities see leadership on screen that looks like them, it quietly changes their sense of what they can become. It is an honor for me to take upon any challenge to continue working on human-centric stories and showcasing real-life achievers, heroes, and youth leaders who work round the clock to push boundaries. If you have a heart, you have the ability to understand the people around you. If you have the ability to overcome the challenges around you, you are a true leader. In that sense, what you're doing here and what you have all come here to do, and what responsible cinema attempts to do, are deeply aligned. You are educating through experience, learning constantly, engaging through participation, and empowering through leadership. Both spaces, that is the leadership that you're involved in and the cinema that we attempt to make, remind us that inclusion is not about charity or visibility, but it's about agency, impact, respect, and dignity. Together, help us build the future of cinema and reassure its true purpose, which lies not just in entertainment and business, but in its soft power to create a lasting impact. I sincerely thank Special Olympics Bharat, Dr. Malika Nadda ji, the hosting institution Prime Group School, the Special Olympics Himachal Pradesh team, and the youth leaders present here for this opportunity for me to be here. I thank those who have walked shoulder and shoulder with us in the movement for an inclusive and accessible cinema in Bharat. It's truly an ongoing journey. Abhi bahut kaam karna baki hai. When it comes to the nation, its representation, its prestige, let merit and let authenticity prevail. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Dhanyawad.